Welcome, everyone. So notice your experience and allow it to be just as it is. Meaning you as presence you don't need to pursue any experience in this moment. So you invite yourself to doing nothing, and simply being. No need to fix anything. No need to alter your experience or attempt to alter your experience. Which is not possible because everything which appears to you disappears instantaneously. It is known, meaning it is perceived. But it's not retained. Because from the perspective of freedom, from the perspective of consciousness, from the perspective of reality, there is no grasping. Nothing lacking. Because there is nothing separate. In fact, Everything appears to you as a flow out of yourself and to yourself. You are the perceiver. As well as the conceiver. There is no limit to creativity, no limit to creation. There is no limit to reality. The reality of consciousness. This borderless creative awareness simultaneously creates and perceives. Without being moved by its creation. Without being altered. You don't need to seek any experience. In this moment of being, there is no past or future. Presence is not a moment between the past and the future. That which has a beginning and an ending is an appearance within this transparent awareness, which has no beginning and no ending. Forms and shapes appear to you with specific shapes and forms, details and colors and sounds. Everything that appears to you has distinct characteristics which the mind can label and recognize. But you, this aware presence has no particular shape or form or color. That which is real neither appears nor disappears. In the Hindu tradition, they speak of discrimination and Viveka. Warning against mistaking that which appears to be real and mistaken the reality which perceives and which is not perceived to be a concept, to be not real, to be less real. It's okay to be enamored with the world, to play in the garden, while knowing that the reality of the world is not in the world. The reality of that which is perceived is not in that which is perceived. Knowing that the reality of that which is perceived is not perceived, it is consciousness, which we commonly refer to as I. I, not a male or female form, but I, this transparent, invisible to the senses, aware presence. Not to attribute a separate reality to forms, not to attribute a separate reality to thoughts, memories, not to attribute a separate reality to what we refer to as feelings. And above all, to notice how we define I, the self, as a form, as a mortal form, as a person, as a body-mind. To attribute the reality of consciousness to a body-mind form. Which is the original identification, the core identification. It is available to us to discern, to perceive, and to understand. That identifying I, which is the reality which perceives right now, in any form, in any manner, is a falsehood. I think it's Christian scriptures speak about falling out of grace. Identifying yourself in any form is a falling out of grace. What goes hand in hand in the Hindu scriptures with Viveka is the concept of dispassion. Vairagya, I think it's referred to. To be in the world with a certain degree of dispassion. Just as a sadhana, as an expedient mean in order not to fall in the trap of being mesmerized by forms. To enjoy the world with a certain degree of dispassion. It's just a practice, it's just a tool, a crutch of sorts. In particular, to be dispassionate towards our own thoughts and feelings about each other, about ourselves. Not to give power to forms. Thoughts are a form, a subtle form, like any other form. To be malleable. To be playful, innocent, childlike. With your thoughts and your opinions. Be light. Whenever you give reality to the body-mind at the expense of consciousness, you will experience a sense of limitation, worry and concern, fears. Take a look at that. See if it applies. We are surrounded with beauty. If there are any questions, you're welcome to unmute yourself. Also, in the reaction section in the bottom of the screen, you can also raise your hand if you like. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, hello, Maggie.
Janet, I don't hear you.
Oh,
Is it just me or?
I can hear Janet.
Oops, I don't hear you. Hold there.
Oh,
Oops.
can't hear me?
So it must be here. Let me check.
just a moment.
Maybe it's on my
Okay,
side.
let's look at that.
No,
So,
Janet, you're fine.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me, Maggie?
Yes, it was on my end.
Okay.
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 Well, I was going to say, I appreciate what you said about when you fall from grace, when you recognize yourself back in the body form. And I had an experience that was so true. When experiencing some pain Thursday, my back went out. I've been having some back trouble, so much so that I went to the emergency room. It just was spasming so bad, and I almost fell to the floor trying to get up out of my chair. So and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. The ER is infamous for having you wait a long time, right?
Yes, right. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I'm projecting like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get up out of this chair. When they call me, I'm going to have to get up. And there I was back in the body thinking I had to get up out of this chair. It was just the body that needed to get up out of the chair. And I thought, okay. So I went into like a meditation, just thinking, okay, my hands are on the arms of this chair. I'm sitting on this chair. I can feel the seat. My feet are on the floor. I can feel feet on the floor, just to try to get back out of the mind, projecting that pretty soon I might have to get up out of this chair. And so there I was, feeling like I was the body again. So when you said about how we fall from grace when we recognize we think we're this form again, immediately that took me back to Thursday when I was experiencing that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, there is an intelligence in the body. The body also doesn't like pain, and you try to find a way around it. But yes, I understand what you're saying about the projection of of the past, of memory about, am I going to be able to do it? Am I, as the body, going to be able to do it? Yeah, but it's a little challenging when the body is in pain, it's easy to identify with the body when the body is in pain, it's like, in a way, maybe even be significant to a certain degree, not to sort of be really watchful. Like I have like my right knee when I'm walking, I'm just careful to just keep the knee aligned, step by step. So it's this sort of this alertness to while walking. But yeah, the body appears to us sometimes painful, sometimes hungry, sometimes all is well, sometimes there is no body. Like in the dreamless sleep state, there's no body, there's no. And bodies, are an experience that we're having, not what we are. Because of course we experience the body, so we cannot be the body because the body doesn't experience itself. We experience the body's consciousness, perceives body, perceives sensations. But I am this consciousness, conscious, aware of the body, aware of this ache in the back, aware of a better way to position the body to sort of relieve a little bit some of the pain. And sometimes we sort of rehearsing getting out of the chair because we anticipate, that we're going to get up from the chair soon. They're going to call us. So in a way, virtually, we're rehearsing standing up without hurting too much. So we rehearse that, and that's part of the capacity of practicing ahead of time, rehearsing a certain activity that we're expecting to do soon, so that we sort of know when our name is called, we already know that we're gonna put the hand here and that hand here, and we sort of visualized it before we do it. That's sometimes when we have a meeting, before we go to a meeting, we also visualize, how we're going to be, how we're going to dress, what we're going to say, we're going to sort of rehearse it, it serves a purpose, it has a purpose to do that. But it doesn't have any fear in it. It's more like a practical thing to do. And whenever we notice the identification, okay, I'm the body, there's usually a little pinch, which basically tells us, wait a minute, are you sure? Are you sure? Because the pinch is telling us to take a second look. If you feel the body, then you're mortal, and you're just a bunch of cells that are deteriorating Over time, that's pretty depressing to be a body. You know, you're not a body. I mean, so you're reminded, because there's an unhappiness with being a body, being somebody or anybody. There's an unhappiness with that. You don't want to go deeper into the unhappiness because it serves no purpose. It's not happy. We love happiness. We love happiness and freedom. So our natural state, our natural is already that. So it's already this transparent presence, already are that. So you don't need to work hard to be what you are. You work hard to be Janet, but to be somebody, to be a person, you know, to be a sister, a mother, a daughter, whatever. But that's just the body, you know. The body is a daughter, mother, father, whatever. The body. You work hard to be the body. You don't need to be the body. You let the body be the body, whatever the body. Let the body be the body. It's already the body. You already are what you are, which is not something. You're not something, a thing. So in a way, it's effortless. I mean, it's just a simple recognition that, okay, you know, let things be, you know, but let it be. Let things be what they are. They already are what they are. You don't need to be somebody, to be something, this and not that. No. By being already that which you are, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to be that which you are because you already are that which you are. You don't need to do it, you know, to try to do it. It's more like seeing the activity of identification. And in seeing the activity of identification, at that moment, you are not identified. At the moment that you're seeing that you assume yourself to be Janet or whatever, at that moment, you are not identified. That's grace, the moment of non-identity, the moment of seeing is grace, and the veil is perceived. When you perceive the veil, there is no more veil. When you realize that you're wearing pink shades, at that moment, you know that the world is not pink because you realize that, oh, there are pink shades. So we're so habituated to live as an identity, live as a man, as a woman, as a person, as a somebody in history, somebody in time. We're so used to that, although it's really painful and fearful and limited and worrisome. We're so used to worry and concern and fear of death and sense of lack that we don't trust being without it. We don't trust being without the fear, without the worry, without the concern, without the seeking. We don't trust being, pure being. So habituated to being somebody, being something. We think that being is, oh, wait a minute, it's empty, it's lacking something, it's lacking some juice. But awareness is, this is where freedom, love, joy is. This is where peace is. This is where creation is, creativity, all of creation. doesn't arise from itself. Creation doesn't arise. An object doesn't arise out of an object. The thought doesn't create another thought. The perception doesn't create a perception. All of creation arises out of consciousness. This moment, every moment. This is where really the juice, the real juice is there. It's not in identifying ourselves as any sensation. And what do we identify with? Thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions. We identify with this. What? And yet perceptions are constantly changing. Thoughts are changing. Sensations are changing. Right? Take a look. It's constantly changing. You are the changeless aspect. You are the knowingness aspect. You are awareness aspect of your experience. You are not any particular form that you perceive, any particular image that you perceive, right? And the knowing element, the knowing aspect. And that's neither male or female, neither tall or short, white, black, you know. It's true. That's once we understand that, and we understand it in a way, it's our comprehension, it's our experience. Yes, I get it, but I am the knowingness aspect and the reality aspect. Once you understand that, that understanding is yours, then it makes sense to live according to this understanding. Not necessarily to revert back, oh, I'm somebody. The body is what it is. Female body, male body, okay. 30-year-old, 40-year-old body, whatever, okay, fine. But not to revert to I am 30 years old, I am a woman, I am. Makes sense, no? It's simple. It's not complicated.
Thank you, Magdi. Yes.
Any questions?
Hi, Magdi. Thank you. I came late and also I apologize. This is Roya.
Hello, Roya.
I haven't been able to attend. So anything that comes from the noumenal and you would like to point to it, maybe 1 or 2, 3 sentences, I appreciate. Thank you.
It's there is a reality to your experience, this moment and every moment. And this reality is not that which appears and disappears. Thoughts appear and disappear. Sensations appear and disappear. The oak tree in the yard appears and 300 years from now disappears. What is it in your experience that doesn't appear or disappear? There is an aspect to your experience which is changeless. There is a perceiving element, a knowing element in your experience right now and every moment, which is not a female element or a male element or a tall element or a short element. Which is invisible, formless, and yet nothing can be perceived without it. It is the perceiving aspect, the knowing aspect. It is that which neither comes and goes, which we refer to as reality, which neither appears or disappears, is not born, does not die. It's our direct experience. We are that knowingness element, because it is I which perceives, which is. I know I am, I know I'm aware. This I is this knowing element, this knowing aspect. So reality is and knows it is. Sat meaning being, it is being. And Chit meaning aware, it is aware, it is known. Sat Chit Ananda. And what we refer to as I, in fact, in reality, is this invisible aware presence. The body may be male, female, tall, short, may live here or may be located here or there. But I am neither located here nor there. Neither am I tall or short, neither am I born or unborn. I am beyond such discourse. And you know me as yourself. I know myself as you know me as I, as one. And I and you are one. There's only one I in the entire cosmos, and there is only one reality, which is I. My I, you I, his I, her I, is only one I. There is no him, mine, yours, or any such thing in reality. There is only one reality, and therefore, if we talk about creation, then there is only one creator of all creation. If we speak of creation, meaning that which appears, that which exists, then there is only one essence, one source, one reality, one creation, one creator. And if there is time, then that reality spans all time, meaning time is contained within that one reality. Reality is not contained within time. Thus, we refer to reality, or reality refers to itself as eternal. I am eternal. I am the eternity of being. Eternal means not in time and not in space. Thus, what the mind refers to as past, future, is me, is myself, the eternity of being. And if time is contained within I, then past, future, all of creation is my creation, is contained within myself. So in our experience in this moment and every moment, there is creation. The creative element is also an aspect, an attribute of I. I am also the creator. I am not only the reality and the perceiving aspect, but I'm also the creative aspect. I create and I perceive simultaneously. And this creation is not external to myself. I do not create some things and I throw them out in space somewhere out there. Space is my very self, is my very being. So everything that I create out of myself, and I create it from myself to myself as myself. I never leave my creation never leaves me. And creation is an expression of my freedom, my infinite freedom. Thus, my creation is infinite. And given I am the only reality, I am peace. I am unopposed. And given I am the only reality, I am freedom. There is no direction that is not available to me. I am complete freedom and peace. And given I am the only reality, I am not lacking. There is no lack. How could I lack? Given I am the only reality. Thus, I am happiness. Happiness, the absence of lack. Given I am the only reality, there are no secrets hidden from me. I am wisdom. I am the only knowingness. I am the creator of all creation. What is hidden from me? Nothing is hidden. I play the game of identification. There's only one player, one creator, one choreographer. What the mind refers to as ignorance is my play, is my freedom to play the game of ignorance, the game of identification. I smile as I play the game of ignorance. I giggle. So you don't need to imagine yourself to be anything else but I. This is the invitation from consciousness to itself, revealing the rules of its game and the nature of its game, whispering to itself, to you, to itself, you, myself, whispering to you, myself. The secret of the game.
Thank you. It's the same as that Rumi's poem that I wrote and you corrected the grammar and English. I wrote it, open your eyes and you see the beloved all over, and you corrected the right translation. It's just nothing which is void of one pristine, beautiful eternal beloved.
Yes, we are the beloved. We are the beloved.
Mhm.
It is only the beloved. Everywhere you look is the beloved. It is the beloved that is looking
Mhm.
onto itself.
It's really beautiful poem about who looks behind my eye, and whatever the eye sees is the beloved or the deuce.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I missed the 2 retreats with Francis and also most of the Sundays with you, but
Mhm.
I'm practicing embracing as is, as the only reality, the
Yes.
way it is. Thank you so much. Good to see you again, all of you.
So,
You know, Rumi has a beautiful poem which says, when the lamps are broken, all the lights, like there is no dividends between the lights, and that's the sensation or maybe perception that comes when I'm in presence of people loving truth or present of to the essence of themselves as beloved. There is that space of light.
there is no darkness in God's kingdom. There is no darkness. The light is unopposed. This is the light of consciousness, of awareness.
Mhm.
This simple light, this ordinary light of awareness, which we overlook because we rely on the mind to guide us.
Mhm.
The mind cannot guide you to the light. The light shines onto the mind, but the mind does not shine. It is the light that shines. The moon does not shine. It is the sun that shines.
Mhm.
The sunshine shines onto the moon, but the light does not belong to the moon. It's this ordinary awareness, consciousness that you overlook because we are so habituated to objects,
Mhm.
to perceiving objects or concepts, that we overlook the reality which perceives, which is neither an object nor a concept, but it's this very ordinary awareness, which is not divided into my awareness, your awareness, his awareness. It is just awareness, moreness awareness. And the wonder of creation, wonder, a sound,
Mhm.
hearing a sound, perceiving the color blue, the sensation of your hand on in your lap or on the armchair sensation. Perceiving a thought. What a wonder. And communicating. Right now, communicating. The magic of understanding. Words, sounds being uttered. And there is understanding. Isn't that mind-blowing? And that love, a loving thought, loving intention. How it fills the heart. Friendship. This availability, this openness, being available and open to the unknown. Be surprised moment by moment, discovering.
Yes. So he also has a poem which says, حیرانی بفروش و زیرکی بفروش و حیرانی بخر. Sell your cleverness and buy wonderment. Amazing. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, the wonderment, and not this personal cleverness. In the wonderment of not knowing, being not knowing, it's infinite. Nothing is pinned down, everything is just created freshly every moment.
Mm.
There's nothing being repeated. I think this is so fresh and new. There's nobody who's accumulating wisdom or accumulating cleverness. See, humility is so beautiful. True humility. True humility is so beautiful. Generosity, kindness. Humility is a good sign of wisdom and of understanding. And we love it. We love it when there is humility, we really love it.
Mm-hmm.
And when there is arrogance, we don't like that. Why you think what did I need to do that? Very lovely to be with you all. Thank you for your friendship and for your love.
Thank you.
Yeah, Christian, Holder, Nathan, Roya, Fernando, Janet, and Frank. Driving again, Frank. Safely, please. Hi, Mark and Richard. Hello, Richard. Gigi, hello, Gigi. Ron. Nina, hello, Nina. Krista, hi, Krista. Hello, John. Alan, hi, Alan. Manoj, nice to see you, Manoj. Holly, hello, Holly.
Thank you, Magdi.
Yes, thank you. Hello, Lynn. KE, hello, KE. And David, hi, David. And my sweet Tara. Very lovely to be with you all. I'm gonna stop the recording and I'm gonna keep the meeting going in case people want to chit chat.
Mm.
Thank you all.